The Farrelly Brothers comedy Kingpin has been announced to come to 4K from Kino Lorber. New release film Mickey 17 is getting a 4K Blu-ray and 4K Steelbook from Warner Brothers. The newly released Valentine's Day slasher Hard Eyes is getting a Blu-ray release from Sony. It looks like all three of the brand new Clint Eastwood 4Ks are getting new special features from Warner Brothers. Synapse Films and Red Shirt Pictures has some banger Blu-ray and 4K announcements, including Fright Night 2 and the Prom Night sequels. And it looks like Sony Pictures has plans to rock you with a new 4K Steelbook of A Knight's Tale coming this spring. All this and more in the next Physical Media Report. Stay tuned. Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken. Today, guys, we are here for the Physical Media Report, episode 254. That is right, guys, your weekly dose of physical media goodness, where we talk about everything new and exciting in the world of 4K and Blu-ray. And look, we've actually got some cool stuff to talk about today, some stuff that I'm very excited to talk about. I feel like it's been a slow news month for the past 4 weeks. There hasn't been a ton to talk about, but we've got some cool stuff to get into today that I'm very excited to talk about. Before we get into it, though, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We talk about all things physical media on this channel: Blu-rays, 4Ks, owning the things that you love, all that stuff there behind me every single day. If you like that kind of stuff, that kind of content, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button, and then comment down below, guys, if everything that we discuss here today, what are you the most excited about? What are you the most amped up for? And what gets those juices flowing the most? Let me know in that comment section below. And then turn on bell notifications for all future videos. I've got more stuff coming this week, guys. Physical media related, of course. You'll love it. You'll dig it. Hit the subscribe button, notifications, all the good stuff. Let's get into it, guys. Let's just start with the news. We've got a big bit of news to talk about right off the bat. We've got A Knight's Tale coming to 4K from Sony. Now it's getting a 4K Steelbook, and that appears to be it, which I have my own issues with. I won't dive into it too much here, but A Knight's Tale is getting a 4K Steelbook from Sony on May the 20th. This is a new 4K restoration of the theatrical version and the extended cut as well. You're getting Dolby Vision, you're getting HDR, you are getting Dolby Atmos, and you are getting new special features as well. So yeah, A Knight's Tale is a movie that is starring Heath Ledger. I saw this movie in the theaters. Paul Bettany is in the film as well. Back in the day, I used to own it on DVD. I love this movie. I watched it all the time. It has been quite some time since I've seen it, but just a really cool, old school medieval adventure type film. And they did a really cool thing where they put a modern day rock soundtrack into this old timey medieval movie, and it really kind of worked and added this really cool unique modern take on a medieval story, and it added a cool vibe and a cool aesthetic, musical aesthetic to the film that just really made it feel different at the time. And I do think that soundtrack, with the Dolby Atmos, is gonna sound awesome. This movie's gonna be rocking on 4K with that sound upgrade for sure. I'm really glad that I did not buy this on Blu-ray, because I almost bought it on Blu-ray, I think at a Barnes & Noble a couple of years ago, because it wasn't too much. It was $10 or $11. And I got to thinking, I'm like, I feel like this one is one that they may do on 4K at some point. So I waited, and I was rewarded. We are getting A Knight's Tale 4K Steelbook with all the fixins from Sony. Again, I've got problems with the Steelbook only. I wish they would also do a slipcover version as well, but that's just the way it is now with Sony, guys. They're just doing the Steelbooks, or they're just doing the slipcover. They do those as well. And I do think A Knight's Tale is a movie that you don't hear a ton of people talk about nowadays, but it is one that I feel like is big enough to warrant a nice Steelbook. And I do think a lot of people are going to be excited for this Steelbook and this movie to come to 4K. So good call on Sony to give this one the 4K Steelbook treatment and not just a slipcover. But what do you think of A Knight's Tale as a movie? Have you ever seen it? Is this going to be a first-time watch for you? If you get the 4K, do you not care? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, let's jump into some more Clint Eastwood 4K news. I feel like there's been developments on the Clint Eastwood 4Ks for I think a couple of months now, but we finally learned this past week when we got the actual press release and announcement of Pale Rider, Dirty Harry, and the Outlaw Josie Wales coming to 4K. First off, the release date, which I think was originally April the 15th, has shifted to April the 29th. So all three of these 4Ks, Clint Eastwood 4Ks, are coming out from Warner Brothers. But we also learned, and I was kind of thinking this a few weeks ago when I was looking at the back of all these cases on a previous physical media report, but there are new features on these 4Ks. There are at least two new special features on each of these Clint Eastwood 4Ks, which is awesome, guys. I mean, like I said, Warner Brothers, I feel like, is doing the best at adding new features. And of course, I think Sony is doing a good job as well, but I feel like there's more to dig into with the Warner Brothers features. They're adding like lengthy features, whereas Sony, it's like extended outtakes and deleted scenes and stuff like that. But let me dive into these features, guys. I got the press release right here. We'll dive into each 4K and what the new features are. We've got a commentary by Richard Schnickel, which I believe is new because there's also a commentary on the Outlaw Josie Wales with the same person. So I believe that's a new commentary. We've also got Generations and Dirty Harry, which is new. We've got Lensing Justice, which is the cinematography of Dirty Harry. That is new. We've also got older archival stuff like American Masters Career Retrospective, Clint Eastwood Out of the Shadows, Clint Eastwood The Man from Malpaso, Clint Eastwood A Cinematic Legacy. So I believe all those are older features from back in the day. Dirty Harry's Way, Dirty Harry the original, and then I believe you have the interview gallery as well. So yeah, just all the past archival stuff, but two brand new special features for Dirty Harry. Now for the Outlaw Josie Wales, we've got an outlaw and an anti-hero, which is new. We've got the cinematography of an outlaw crafting Josie Wales, which is new. You got Clint Eastwood's West, Eastwood in Action, Hell Hath No Fury, the making of Outlaw Josie Wales. I think all these are archival features. Clint Eastwood, A Cinematic Legacy, Reinventing the West. So you got two new features here, and I think a new audio commentary as well. Now for Pale Rider, we've got the no audio commentary in this one. The Diary of Sidney Penny, which is lessons from the set. That is new. We've got Painting the Preacher, Bruce Surtees, and Pale Rider, which is new. And we got Clint Eastwood, A Cinematic Legacy, Reinventing Westerns, Eastwood Directs The Untold Story, and The Eastwood Factor. So those are archival features, but again, two brand new special features on Pale Rider, two brand new features at least, if the audio commentary is not new, for all of these new Clint Eastwood 4Ks, which I think is super awesome and cool and just freaking great that Warner Brothers has finally like embraced new features with their releases. Now it does suck that they're still not going to put the Blu-rays in these. They're just going to have the 4K, and the new features are going to be on the 4Ks, but at least they're not taking away features. They're putting the archival stuff in there. They're adding new features. To me, that's a win. And I think that Warner Brothers, is kind of setting the standard right now for what these studios need to be doing with their 4K upgrades. Again, you are not catering to the average person anymore. Like, you are catering to the super fan, the movie enthusiast, the cinephile, the collector. Like, you gotta start adding these extras in, or people are not going to care about your releases. So I think Warner Brothers is doing a good job. Steelbook, 4K slipcover, new features. I mean, like, look, I know they don't have the Blu-ray. That's the big criticism with Warner Bros. It feels like with everybody, like there's something to complain about. But I do think that by and large, Warner Brothers is doing the best job of the studios with these new 4K upgrades. And I think that this is a prime example. Now let's go ahead and get into some Kino Lorber news. We've got quite a bit of Kino Lorber news. We've got Kingpin, which is a Farrelly Brothers movie from I want to say 1998 or maybe 96. This movie came out. This is coming soon from Kino Lorber, so this is kind of a pre-announcement before we get the actual announcement. Again, another comedy that we're getting on 4K. I'm for the comedies coming to 4K. I would love to have Dumb and Dumber, which is another Farrelly Brothers comedy, or There's Something About Mary, which is another great Farrelly Brothers comedy. I think both of those are better than Kingpin, but Kingpin's cool too. I'm glad that we are getting that on 4K for sure, but hopefully we circle back and we grab Dumb and Dumber, because I believe Dumb and Dumber is Warner Brothers. Now I don't know who owns There's Something About Mary. That could be Fox, which is a Disney thing. That could be why that's tied up. But Dumb and Dumber, like, if Kino Lorber announced Dumb and Dumber, like, that would light the world on fire. I just love it that Kino Lorber has just embraced the comedy coming to 4K. I just think that I've been wanting, like, some label, or maybe, like, create a new label that just embraces comedy, put comedies out. If Kino Lorber wants to be the label to do it, I'm all for it. I'm all for the comedies on 4K, guys. Cannot wait for Tommy Boy and Black Sheep. later this month. We've also got Mouse Hunt coming to 4K from Kino Lorber. No official announcement, but just kind of a pre-announcement before an announcement. But Mouse Hunt's incredibly fun. Nathan Lane is in this movie. I forget the name of the other actor that's in it, but he's also in Something About Mary as well. But just a really fun movie about two guys going insane over trying to find this damn mouse in their house. But I remember watching and enjoying Mouse Hunt like all the time when I was a kid. I think it's a movie from 1997, which I just discussed a bunch of movies from 1997 and what needs upgrades in a live stream the other night, and I'm pretty sure that Mouse Hunt did come up. But yeah, Mouse Hunt, incredibly fun film. Does it need a 4K? Some would argue it doesn't. I tend to take the side of any movie can look better in 4K, so of course Mouse Hunt could benefit from a 4K. I'm kind of surprised, if I'm being completely honest, that they would do Mouse Hunt on 4K, not just a Blu-ray with a 4K scan. But you know what? That's Kino Lorber. They don't care. They're just putting stuff out there for us, and I love it. So Mouse Hunt coming to 4K, I think that's super cool, and I think it's going to pay off for him. I think that Mouse Hunt has a lot of nostalgia for some people, and I think a lot of people are going to pick up Mouse Hunt on 4K. Then lastly, guys, we got Bottoms coming to Blu-ray. This is a newer teen comedy film that I think came out back in 2023. This is coming out from Kino Lorber on May the 27th. So I know a lot of people were looking forward to this one because they announced this I want to say they announced this 6 to 9 months ago, and this is a newer film, and Kino Lorber doesn't do a lot of new movies coming out on Blu-ray, so this might be a new thing for them to kind of take over some of the MGM Amazon movies and put those out on Blu-ray instead of Warner Brothers doing it. So again, always cool for a newer film that didn't get a physical release to get a physical release. I did watch Bottoms, I think on Amazon Prime a month ago. I didn't like it. That movie was just not for me. That's a very newer generation movie. I feel like it just was not for me. That's all I'll say. But I'm happy for those that are fans of it to get that movie on Blu-ray. Next up, guys, we got Mickey 17. This is coming out from Warner Brothers. It's getting a 4K. It's getting a Blu-ray. It's getting a 4K Steelbook, and it's available for pre-order right now on Amazon and on Groove.com. Now, Mickey 17 is the new movie starring Robert Pattinson, directed by Bong Joon-ho, who is the same guy that directed Parasite and Snowpiercer and Memories of a Murder. I've heard kind of mixed things about it. I've heard overall it's a good movie, but I've just heard that it's not the best thing that Bong Joon-ho has ever done. I have a kind of a controversial opinion with Bong Joon-ho. It's of the stuff I've seen, I've never been completely enamored with him as a director, except for Parasite. I love Parasite, but I think that is by far his best movie of the ones that I've seen. But I'm definitely open to checking out Mickey 17 at some point. I know my wife wants to see it. But yeah, that's got, Warner Brothers movie just came out. It's got the 4K, it's got the Blu-ray, it's got the 4K Steelbook. It's a newer film. Again, Warner Brothers, they're giving you the options. Other studios right now, guys, are not giving the options. Sony just dropped the 4K standard of Craven, and it looks like they're just going to do the Blu-ray and the 4K Steelbook. So is Disney, Blu-ray, 4K Steelbook. Paramount just doing the 4K and the 4K Steelbook. They dropped the Blu-ray. Warner Brothers is still giving you all the options, at least as of right now. But yeah, Mickey 17, guys, let me know if you saw that in the theaters. What were your thoughts? Do you plan on picking this up? Let me know that in the comment section below. Next up, guys, we have another new film that came out, I think, back in early February before Valentine's Day. It is Heart Eyes, and that is getting a Blu-ray from Sony April the 15th. It's going to have a filmmaker commentary, which is good, and other extras as well. And, I feel like, again, if Warner Brothers would have put this one out, I feel like if Lionsgate especially, because they're still really good about giving you options, they would have done the Blu-ray and they would have done the 4K. I don't like this move with the studios just putting the Blu-ray out for newer films because, again, it was shot in 4K. It was probably shown in the theaters in 4K. It's going to be on streaming in 4K. So it's just put this out on 4K disc. You have the capabilities to do so. Just put it out on 4K disc for people to want it. But it feels like they're going to put it out on Blu-ray and they're going to have a bunch of people buy it, and then they'll announce a 4K Steelbook of it next Valentine's Day. Same thing they did with Thanksgiving. They just did the Blu-ray, I think, in January of last year. Then they announced a 4K Steelbook to come out around Thanksgiving time. So I don't like those games, and it feels like very much to me that is what Sony is doing here. They're playing games with you. They're putting out the Blu-ray of Heart Eyes. That's it. And then it's going to sell copies, and then they're going to put out the 4K Steelbook next year. So my advice to you, maybe wait on the 4K still, because I feel like it'll come at some point, but maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. But Hard Eyes coming out on Blu-ray from Sony, April the 15th. I think the pre-orders are up for that right now. Now, all the pre-orders that we talk about, guys, that are available on Amazon, I will have linked down below. All the deals, everything that's new that's coming out this week, I'll have it all linked down below if you are interested in picking up those titles. Next up, guys, we've got a newer film as well, Presence, which is coming out from Neon and Decal Releasing. And this is a studio that's starting to get it. They're starting to give the consumers the options up front, which, again, I'm all for. This is coming out May the 20th, and it's going to have a 4K, and it's going to have a Blu-ray. And I don't think that Presence was as big of a film as Hard Eyes was. I think that Hard Eyes did a little bit better at the box office. So, and that movie just got a Blu-ray, and now Neon Decal Releasing is putting out a 4K and a Blu-ray for Presence, which I would have assumed this movie would have just got a Blu-ray. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't even really complained about it, because like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Just give it a Blu-ray, and that probably won't get a 4K. So good on Decal Releasing and Neon to put out the 4K and the Blu-ray of this up front, which they are getting better at. We got The Monkey coming out. Long Legs last year came out with a 4K and the Blu-ray. They're getting better at it, because Immaculate came out with a Blu-ray last year from Neon Decal Releasing. I picked it up. Then it got a 4K announcement, and I kind of got a little pissed. So I don't like that kind of stuff, guys. It's crappy. It plays with the collector. It plays with the consumer. We're such a small community now that still supports this stuff. Don't play with us, okay? Don't mess with our emotions when it comes to this. Just give us the options up front that you're going to do. But Presence is coming out from Neon Decal Releasing May the 20th, 4K and Blu-ray, and I believe the pre-orders are up right now. Now we got some really cool news, guys, coming out from Vestron Video, also Synapse Redshirt Pictures, which we'll get into as well. Now with Vestron Video, there's no official announcements of any titles, but they have said, they've come out and said, guys, this is coming from Dawn of the Disc on Instagram, that there are 3 titles coming this year, and they may possibly be getting into 4K. Another thing they said in the post that Dawn of the Disc put out is that if they get into 4K, they're going to go full on into 4K. There's no turning back. So to expect most of their titles going forward to be 4K. Now, Vestron Video has not put out a title since Blue Steel back in, I believe, November of 2023. That was a movie with Jamie Lee Curtis. So it's been about a year and a half since Vestron Video has put anything out. So 3 titles coming this year would be awesome. Now, are they going to be 4Ks? Are they going to be Blu-rays? You know, again, I would love it if we had options. Give us the option. You can pick up the Blu-ray, or you could pick up the 4K. That would be cool as well. But it also depends on the title. You know, does this need a 4K? Does that need a 4K? Is that okay just on Blu-ray? You know, Vestron Video, they're not exactly known for their quality when it comes to the Blu-ray scans. They're good quality. They're not bad quality, but I've never been like completely blown away by a Blu-ray from Vestron Video. So it would be interesting to see, like, because it's owned by Lionsgate, so that's the same kind of company. I don't know if Lionsgate, you know, does the work, or if they kind of let Vestron Video do their own thing. But, you know, Lionsgate usually does go work in 4K. So we'll see with Vestron Video what it's like for them to get into 4K maybe this year. Maybe not, though. Maybe they'll just stay on Blu-ray. But 3 new titles from Vestron Video. I'm all for it. I've always loved collecting for that line. I think I have every single title as of right now except for one. I'm missing one that's very hard to find. But yeah, Vestron Video, always been a really cool line. I think they last left off on 31, so the next one should be 32. Let me know if you're excited for more Vestron Video releases in the comment section below. We've also got some news from Redshirt Pictures and Synapse Films. This, of course, is the collaboration that gave us Trick or Treat on 4K last year from 1986, the big chunky box set release. Not Trick or Treat that Arrow Video put out, but Trick or Treat on 4K. So they have announced some really cool stuff. So Redshirt Pictures is kind of the leader in these announcements, but they are also working with Synapse Films. They are helping them get this stuff off the ground, but Redshirt Pictures is kind of the new label that's putting this stuff out, and their first release was Trick or Treat last year. But they've announced some really cool stuff. There's no official announcements like what's going to be a 4K, what's going to be a Blu-ray. It said that some of these are going to be 4K, some of these are going to be Blu-ray, some of these might be both, because Trick or Treat just got a Blu-ray and a 4K release with the slipcover standard regular releases. So they might be both, you know, coming out from Redshirt Pictures and Synapse Films. But these are in production right now. But basically we've got Fright Night 2, which is a long-awaited upgrade. This movie's been stuck on DVD for quite some time. I think there's overseas bootlegs on Blu-ray, but this one's been stuck on DVD for a long time. A lot of people have been wanting this one to get an upgrade to Blu-ray at least, but I'm thinking that because it's in the Fright Night franchise, we just got Fright Night on 4K, I'm thinking if any of these are going to be 4K, it's probably going to be Fright Night 2. Then we got Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2, which is a personal favorite of mine. I grew up with Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2. I didn't watch the original Prom Night until last year for the first time, but I loved the sequel to Prom Night, which is kind of its own thing. I don't feel like you need to watch the first one to watch the second one. Then you got Prom Night 3, The Last Kiss, and you got Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil. So what I'm thinking is, because Synops Films has Prom Night, they put out the Blu-ray release of Prom Night, I think back in 2013, I'm thinking we might be in store to get a Blu-ray box set of the Prom Night films, and maybe possibly a 4K box set of the Prom Night films, which would be super awesome. Now, I have seen parts of Prom Night 4. It didn't feel like the best for me, but I would be interested to watch all the Prom Night sequels for sure. But Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2, I would love to get that movie in 4K. It's a gorgeous film with all kinds of incredible like moments and stuff that I think will look great in 4K. Some really disgusting, like gnarly, like set piece monstrous moments. So the locker kill in 4K, and that alone, that would be freaking fantastic. But yeah, a nice like 4K or Blu-ray box set of the Prom Night movies would be freaking awesome to me. Then you got 976 Evil 2, which I haven't seen the first one, but you know, that one's going to be coming out. And then Angel of Heat, or Angel of Heat, they're also working on as well. So I'm not really too familiar with that one at all. I'm assuming that those last two will probably end up getting just Blu-ray releases. I can't imagine they'll do those on 4K because they just don't feel like big enough titles. But Fright Night 2, I can guarantee, like, if any of these are going to be 4K, it's probably going to be Fright Night 2. And then I think the Prom Night movies are going to get like the box set treatment. They might get the box set treatment, and they might get the individual treatment as well. Knowing what they did with the Trick or Treat box set, I think that Prom Night 2 is going to get just as prestigious a packaging 4K box set for sure. And then we're going to get probably that Prom Night set as well. So very exciting news coming out from Synops Films and Red Shirt Pictures. I'll definitely update you guys when we have more official announcements. Next up, guys, we talked about this in a video last week, so I'm not going to go over all the Shout Factory announcements for the month of May, but we announced a Blaxploitation 6-film 4K box set with a certain artwork on it that people were not super happy about. I liked it because it kind of reminded me of like GTA, old like PS2 era GTA 3, Vice City. It was almost like a mix of Vice City and San Andreas. So I like the artwork, but apparently people complained enough. And if you look at the post on the Shout Factory Instagram page, there are people just complaining all the way down. They did not like the artwork. And apparently because they complained about the artwork, Shout Factory has put up new artwork on their website, which is basically the backgrounds, colors and stuff, like the smoky like pinks and purples and yellows and all that stuff. Like that's the image now. I'm kind of wondering, because it doesn't feel like it's going to be the official artwork. It feels like they just took that artwork off because people complained about it, and this is kind of the placeholder artwork until they get new artwork, because it really feels very plain to me, and I can't imagine that's going to be their official artwork for this box set. But that's supposed to be coming out from Shout Factory on May the 20th. I don't know like how I feel about it. Part of me thinks like nobody else really does this. Like people complain about artwork like all the time. Like that's physical media collectors' favorite thing to complain about. It feels like Nightmare on Elm Street, Exorcist. They complain about Warner Brothers artwork all the time. Nobody ever changes anything. Like they just complain. Nobody changes anything. But Shout Factory, you know, good on them for taking the complaints, taking the criticism, and being like, you know what, people don't like it. Let's just take it off of there. Let's put this placeholder artwork in there, and we'll come up with something different. Good on them for doing that. Like I don't see a lot of other labels doing that kind of stuff. People complain about the artwork. They're like, tough crap, this is what it is. And Shout Factory, they took it off of there to their credit, and they put it back on. Another part of me is like, I actually like the artwork, so I'm kind of upset that people like had to bitch so much to get new artwork, and now I don't get that artwork. But you know, if I think about it, I'm like, okay, I like that artwork, but maybe they'll announce artwork that I like better. You know, you never know. And again, at the end of the day, like I want everybody, I want the majority of people to be happy with physical media and what they're getting. So you know, I could say that's a small complaint to have, and it's kind of petty for people to complain about artwork, but I like artwork too, so it's not really fair of me to criticize other people for complaining about artwork when I kind of do the same thing. It's just that in this particular case, I like this artwork, and I'm kind of disappointed that they took it off there. But yeah, they're changing the artwork. They took it off the website, and they'll probably have some new artwork in there. At least I imagine. Again, I don't think they're going to keep this like as this plain artwork for this set. But yeah, guys, just thought I would update you on that, throw that out there in case you're looking on the website and wondering why did they take the artwork off? You know, that again, there's no official announcement, so I don't know for sure, but I imagine they're going to be replacing it with new artwork at some point. But let me know your thoughts on all that in the comment section below. We've also got Gladiator 1 and 2 getting a 4K Steelbook set. This is a new 4K Steelbook set coming out from Paramount on May the 6th. This is going to be $67.99 for a 2-film 4K Steelbook set. Now, Lionsgate just put out a really nice 4K Steelbook set of the Den of Thieves movies, and that is $60. So this is a little bit more right now for pre-order from Paramount for the Gladiator 1 and 2 4K Steelbook set. But you could argue, you know, one of these is a brand new movie and one of these is a Best Picture winner, so that's why it's a little bit more. But yeah, guys, that's a steep price point for this set. But it looks like a nice box set Steelbook edition, kind of along the same lines as this Den of Thieves collection right here. So you know what? If you want it, there it is, guys. Let me know if you're excited about it in the comment section below. Plane is also getting a 4K Steelbook from Lionsgate. Really nice looking 4K Steelbook from Lionsgate coming out April the 29th. The only problem is Plane already got a 4K last year. So if you bought the movie on 4K, no, maybe that was 2 years ago, Plane got a 4K. Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. But it got a 4K. So if you bought that 4K, it's like, oh crap, now I got to rebuy a 4K Steelbook. And, you know, for Plane, which was okay, Plane I actually kind of enjoy. I thought it was a decent action thriller with Gerard Butler, but it's not one I would like care to double dip for to get a Steelbook. But that is a nice Steelbook. Like if you don't own the movie, like it's a nice Steelbook, and Plane is actually a pretty decent action thriller for sure. At least one of Gerard Butler's more decent action movies that he's done the past 10 years. But yeah, that is getting a release from Lionsgate April the 29th. We've also got Wanted getting a 4K Steelbook, a Shout Walmart exclusive, which again, Wanted I think just came out on 4K like a year or so ago, like a year, maybe a year and a half ago. Now they're putting out a 4K Steelbook. It's a Shout Walmart exclusive, but I mean, Scream Factory, Shout Factory, they do this kind of stuff all the time. I think Drag Me to Hell came out on 4K, and then 4 months later, I got a Walmart 4K Steelbook. So it's nothing new for them. This comes out May the 13th, $32.96. We've also got repressed 4K Steelbooks for Full Metal Jacket and Twister. They are up on Groove.com right now, and I believe also on Amazon. And then we've got a brand new design for a Detective Pikachu Steelbook that is also on Groove right now. These are coming out from Warner Brothers on April the 29th. Second Sight has also started dispatching replacement discs for the Blair Witch Project. So this is just kind of an FYI for those out there that got the Blair Witch set. If you put in for your replacement disc, you should be starting to receive those in the next week or so. And lastly, guys, Lionsgate has officially confirmed that we will not be getting Megalopolis on 4K or Blu-ray in the States. This was apparently at Francis Ford Coppola's request. So they do not want a physical version of Megalopolis in the United States domestically. Now, I did announce different versions because there are different versions of this overseas. I believe over in the UK, they have a 4K of Megalopolis. I'll try to link those down below if you're interested in getting the movie in 4K. But basically, what I'm saying is you're okay to get the overseas versions of Megalopolis on 4K on Blu-ray because we are not getting one in the States. According to Lionsgate, according to Francis Ford Coppola, I don't know exactly what the reason is. It's on streaming right now to rent on Blu-ray and 4K, but you cannot get a physical version of it. Per Francis Ford Coppola, he does not want it in the States. Again, I don't know exactly the reasoning for it, but I've had so many people ask me about Megalopolis. When is it coming to 4K? When is it coming to Blu-ray? It's not in the States, at least. You can get it overseas. There's Italian versions, I believe. There's UK versions, but you're not going to be able to get the movie on physical in the States unless it's a bootleg or something like that. But yeah, just thought I would let you guys know that. Now let's get into the deals. We've got Barnes & Noble Paramount sale going on right now, and this has trickled over into Amazon as well. I've been posting these all week. Some really great deals on some Paramount Presents titles, some 4Ks for $21.99. I think also some of them have been like $18.99. I think Election is currently $18.99, but a lot of the Blu-ray, the past Blu-ray ones, which when they came out, guys, they're $30 $30. A lot of those are down to $11.99, $14.99, $9.99, I think in the case of 48 Hours. I've been linking those all week. So if you wanted to get caught up on the Paramount Presents line, this is probably a good time to do so. Now, you can get on the Barnes & Noble website and order from them as well. I would always recommend that you support the people that are actually initiating these sales, which is Barnes & Noble. But again, guys, I do have affiliate links on Amazon. If you want to order off of Amazon, if you feel more comfortable ordering off Amazon, because I know that some people do, I will have those linked down below if you're interested. In addition to that, guys, we've got some Groove sales going on right now as well. I always recommend getting on Groove.com every single week to check out the new sales that they got, because they got a lot of good stuff. And currently, guys, they have got a 3 for $19.99 Blu-ray sale, and there's a lot of good Blu-rays in there that are usually going for like $12, $13, and you can get 3 of those basically for $6.80, which is a really or $6.66, right? That would equate to $19.99, which is a really great deal for some of those titles. I would definitely recommend that. And then you can get 3 4Ks for $39.99, which is basically a 4K for $13. So another great deal. If you want to get caught up on some titles, like Groove is a great website to do so, and you don't have to break the bank on some of these titles. Everybody says that physical media is so expensive right now, I can't collect anymore. Well, it is if you want to get like all the new steelbooks and the new like prestige packaging and big ass cardboard sets. But if you just want the movies in the format, like there's so many sites that are running sales like constantly all the time that you could build up your collection with for super cheap. So yeah, definitely check out Groove every single week. Even if I don't talk about them, get on Groove and see what they got going as far as their sales. I will link them down below in the description. So let's get into what is new this week. We've got quite a bit of new titles coming out this week, but it's a lot of obscure stuff, a lot of obscure labels that are putting stuff out. We've got Daylight coming out on 4K from Kino Lorber. I am so excited for this, guys. I cannot wait to get this in. Hopefully I'm getting this in Tuesday from Amazon. I got it pre-ordered. So yeah, hopefully there'll be a review this week of Daylight on 4K. $29.99 currently to get that. We've got Thief coming out on 4K from the Criterion Collection Michael Mann film for $34.99. We've got Trick or Treat. Speaking of Trick or Treat, we've got Trick or Treat coming out on 4K from Synops Films for $29.08 for the 4K, and also a Blu-ray for $24.75. So you have both options to get this Synops Films release. Now, this is a smaller version of the big box set that they released last year, but you can get the 4K for $29.08 and also the Blu-ray for $24.75, which, look, this has a great special feature on it that is worth the price of admission alone. It's an hour-and-a-half documentary on this film and the making of it and the history of it and all that good stuff. So that is a great release for the price that they're asking right there. Then we've got 6 Deaf Crocodile releases coming out this week. We got The Golden Fern coming out on Blu-ray for $22.49. We got The Outcast coming out on Blu-ray for $29.95. We got The Mysterious Castle and the Carpathians coming out on Blu-ray for $22.49. We got Kin Za Za coming out on Blu-ray for $29.95. We got Prague Nights coming out on Blu-ray for $22.49. And we got Zero Grad, aka City Zero, coming out on Blu-ray for $22.49. Then we got 3 new releases coming out from Kino Lorber. Best Defense coming out for $20.99. Two-Way Stretch coming out for $20.99. And Cry the Beloved Country coming out on Blu-ray for $20.99. Then we got Samurai Fiction coming out on Blu-ray from Media Blasters for $19.99. We got Wildcat coming out on Blu-ray from Oscilloscope Pictures for $39.99. We got Quacker Fortune Has a Cousin in the Bronx Blu-ray. This is a movie with Gene Wilder in it, coming out for VCI for $18.59. Then we got 2 new Mondo Macabro releases. The Killer Is Not Alone coming out on Blu-ray for $29.99. We got The Hungry Snake Woman. The Hungry Snake Woman, guys. That's what we're talking about here today. Coming out on Blu-ray for $29.99. Then we got Eating Miss Campbell. Sounds Tasty, coming out on Blu-ray from Troma for $18.78. Then we got 100 Tears coming out on Blu-ray from Unearthed Films for $34.99. We got Death Streamer coming out on Blu-ray from Full Moon Features for $21.95. We got Eat the Night coming out on Blu-ray. See, I told you guys some really obscure stuff coming out from Altered Innocence on Blu-ray for $32.95. We got Customs Frontline coming out on Blu-ray from Wellgo USA for $33.49. And lastly, we got 3 releases coming out from Magnolia Magnet Pictures, which have no price currently on Amazon, but they're slated to come out this week. We got Joyride, Deliver Us, and Ernest Cole Lost and Found, all Blu-rays coming out this week. Again, no price currently on Amazon. But there you have it, guys. That is the Physical Media Report, episode 254. I hope you feel more informed in the world of physical media. Please, if you can, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below your thoughts on everything that we discussed here today. Turn on those bell notifications for all future videos. Again, I have all the links for every title that I talked about that has links, Amazon links, down below in the description. And also follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are also down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.